Hey guys, welcome back. It's your brother in Christ, Weston. Thanks for joining me today. So today's article comes out of Now the End Begins. Let's get into it. Okay, so we have talked about this guy, Yuval Noah Harari. This was the guy that was talking about there's no God, that AI will be a God, transhumanism, that people who believe in God are silly, and that we create our own God. And man, in an expected fashion, it says this end times villain. Noah Harari says the world is on the verge of a new religion whose sacred texts will be written by AI like ChatGPT. Now, we talked about ChatGPT. It's a very strong AI tool. Um, and we are in, I forgot what it's, there's like three types of AI intelligence. There's like the one we're currently in, I forgot what it's called. Then the next one is general AI, general artificial intelligence. I think there's super artificial intelligence where it's I think general will be able to it'll be able to learn on its own, and then at supposedly super, and I'm probably butchering this, so somebody will probably correct me in the comments. Is far beyond our capacity in terms of like it'll be the singularity of sorts where the information between what general and super will be is like this thing will gain sentience and consciousness or something, right? And it'll know everything two ways from Sunday kind of thing. So, anyways, let's read. Um, the world is on the verge of a new AI religion and artificial intelligence, blah, blah, blah. Noah Harari, from an end times perspective, is a fascinating figure like Klaus Schwab. Right, we already know this. World Economic Forum, the young leaders, talking about a global government, one world ruler kind of thing. He's pushing for all that, a new world order. He has a lot of that like terminology and things that they hold in Geneva, Switzerland. He is a near cartoon character pulled from the central casting in Hollywood. Only he's real, and what he represents is sinister and terrifying. King James Bible says the majority of the Jews in the time of Jacob's trouble will follow the Antichrist. We know this not only to worship him but to work with him as well, and then they'll be fooled. These are the people who that the book of Revelation lays out for you very clearly. Yuval Noah Harari is one of those people, and they worship the dragon who gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying who was like the beast and who was able to make war with him. That's Revelation 13 verse 4. So we really headed for a world run by AI and software like ChatGPT with a new religion at the center? You better believe it, brother. That's what the Bible warns you about, and that's what's coming. That's what's happening now. History has proven conclusively that man is ultimately incapable of building anything good, perfect, or beautiful, and that everything he touches will lead you to world wars, concentration camps, and other such horror. Look how the Bible starts off in Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And we see where it ends up in Genesis 26. And he was put in a coffin in Egypt. What went wrong? Man went wrong. You're absolutely right, and he stayed that way ever since. The Bible shows us that all the dispensations end in failure. Nothing will change until we get past Revelation 20 and the Great White Throne Judgment. Want to avoid the coming of the new AI religion? Get saved and get on your ticket to 777. He's talking about the rapture, which I love. You've all know Noah Harari said AI like ChatGPT could attract worshipers to a new faith with a new religion. Now, somebody who doesn't believe in religion and somebody who doesn't even believe in God then starts to presuppose that they can be God. So there's this presupposition between the atheist or the agnostic in some sense, that there is no God and it has to be proven, or man is God, or some alien is God. And you have to think about like how we got planted here in the first place. That's something not even it's so profound to think about, but it's so logical that everything is so orchestratedly lined up. The fine tuning argument, that it is so fine tuned, the universe and the earth and the way everything works. Somebody did it with intelligence. That means that it wasn't just stardust and space and just nothing creating everything. No, it was someone creating everything. Someone creating nothing as something out of nothing, right? There was an intelligence behind it. That is logic. That makes so much sense. And so for this person to presuppose that and have such an animosity and an adversity against religion in the sense of just God in general, because he wants to be his own God, to say something like that is there's a presupposition there within his heart, and that's evidence for plenty of people, plenty of atheists, because you can't make those arguments and say new faith and new religion unless you're putting them in what something higher, right? So let's keep moving. When you put those two together, right? The academic known, Daily Mail UK, known for his best-selling book, Sapiens, and software such as ChatGPT could attract worshippers by writing its own sacred text. That's stupid. Speaking at a science conference, he said AI has crossed a new frontier by gaining mystery of our language and was now capable of using it to shape human culture. Dr. Harari used this event to add his own voice to growing calls for urgent regulation over the sector, which experts have warned amid a dangerous arms race. In the future, we might see the first cults and religions in history whose revered texts were written by a non-human intelligence. That's, oh goodness. Of course, religions throughout history claim that their holy books were written by unknown human intelligence. This was never true before. Oh man, this right there. But then somehow it's true now. That's it's circular logic. That doesn't make no sense. This could be very true very, very quickly with far-reaching consequences. Frontier Forums in Switzerland, he warned machines now have the tools to cocoon us in a matrix-like world of illusions, right? Like a metaverse or anything like that. Referring to 1999 sci-fi film, the Hollywood blockbuster depicts a dystopian future in which humanity is unknowingly trapped in a simulated reality, he's talking about the Matrix, that intelligent machines have created to distract humans while using their bodies as an energy source. So we're all plugged up like the Matrix, and we have to get out of it to be able to see it, and then pull out the machine out of us, right? And then fight back against the machines or something. It's there is that. Obviously, the Matrix is very, very biblical in the way it talks and the way it's set up. Mr. Anderson, Agent Smith, the oracles, the machines, Zion, Nebuchadnezzar. It's the chosen one. There is an architect, and then there is this overwhelming attack against humans. And that are being harvested, right? And so people use that as like, you got to get out of the Matrix. And you hear that New Age controversy, and New Age just talk all the time, right? And it's weird that New Age is taking prevalence, but people talk about spiritualism or higher power or higher consciousness, and then you've immediately debunked your own belief and argument and moved into the belief of what we say. There's a God, there are spirits, there are angels, there are demons. This would give evidence and at least leeway to somebody who would say that maybe Jesus is real, maybe Allah is real, maybe Buddha was real. Right? Like all these people who are being worshipped, maybe it's Buddhism, maybe it's Mormonism, maybe it's Jehovah's Witness, maybe it's Taoism, maybe it's Buddhist, maybe it's Islam. Insert whatever here, right? There's Indian culture, right? Of anything like that, where they have what is it? I can't even think of it. Anyways, talk about giants, you talk about Nephilim, we talk about these ancient things of an ancient world and things that have happened. And so then it's like, how am I the weird one all this time? And now just because now everybody's doing it, it becomes cool. And that's exactly what cultures is doing. Until it becomes prevalent with the culture, it's crazy, it's wild, it's false, it's whatever. Insert a fallacy here. And then when culture accepts it, then okay, it's cool now. But Jesus is never going to be cool to the world because it's a lost and dying world, and Jesus is anti-culture. Jesus it's Jesus' way or no way, right? No one comes to the Father except through me. I am the only way, right? Let's continue. He said, contrary to some conspiracy theories assume you don't really need to implant chips into people's brains in order to control them or manipulate them. I believe that. For thousands of years, prophets and poets and politicians have used language and storytelling in order to manipulate and control people, in order to reshape society. And that's obviously his heart. That's what he's thinking about. And once it doesn't need to send a killer robots to shoot us. It can get humans to pull the trigger. And he's right. The wickedness of our hearts. Yeah, so when I think of this, wrap this video up, I think of one more religion, one more currency, one more government, a new world order, right? I think of the Antichrist. I think of the beast system. We talked about the giant statue, that it was an AI and you could cast an image on it. And it was this abomination, and then it would be set up in the holy place. And that AI could have a pneuma, a spirit inside of it, and it could talk, it could take over. If you can do that with human beings, you can do that with pigs, you can do it with anything. At any point, you can do anything. I believe demons can travel any such way, through by any means, through a spiritual way, and by distracting you, by manipulating something, whatever. You see stuff that happens on TikToks or social media where things start turning off lights, on and off, on and off, on and off. Like, okay, what's happening? Specters and ghosts and these shadows and what is that? I mean, it's demonic. It's demons, bro. That's what it is. So anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what y'all think about Yuval and his circular reasoning and his own fallacies that he's saying right here, and how he's presupposing God because he's talking about faith and religion and all these things, and now he's trying to build something like that, and that's what we'll become, and it's good for us. And it's like, I guess you're so blinded to your own beliefs that you've believed them the entire time, right? That's what the Bible says. Everyone will confess that Jesus is God. Jesus is the Christ, right? And Jesus is Messiah. Everyone, every tongue in heaven, on earth, and under the earth. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll see you in the next one.